I think they play an important part in raising awareness and making sure that people don't forget. I was struck when I started sharing early draft with the people in my MA. Very few of them, if any of them, had ever heard of the genocide in Rwanda, which was a bit shocking to me. And I think fiction makes it more accessible because it's character-driven. As someone who spent 6 months reading a lot of commission reports, they are very graphic and very detailed, but they are written in such a way that provides a distance that makes it difficult to really understand what happened. Whereas a character-driven story forces you as the reader to really root for one character or another. To put it in context, Rwanda is the last genocide of the 20th century. Shockingly, it happened not long after, years after the Second World War. Following the Holocaust, there was a huge body of literature that analysed the Holocaust. First generation bearing witness, sharing their memoirs, but then second generation also revisiting and acting as situated bystanders and making sure that we don't forget in order to not repeat history. And when I looked, I found very few second generation accounts of the genocide in Rwanda. Very little has been written within Rwanda that has made it abroad. A lot of the accounts that I found were written by Western journalists who were there at the time and felt that they had to bear witness firsthand. And there is very rare but accounts of survivors who wrote memoir. And then there's the odd graphic novels where Rwanda features almost as an aside. The most prominent one is the film Hotel Rwanda, which has been criticized many, many times as it's not a very real life account of what happened in Rwanda, and it doesn't convey certainly the experience of the survivors I spoke to. One of the things that was difficult was deciding whether I was the right person to tell the story, because of the connection with France and France's responsibility as it unfolds. But when I spoke to survivors, they said that it was important for me to tell the story because within Rwanda, for a variety of reasons, some of them very good, others a bit more dubious, the government has had a very strong control over how you tell the narrative of Rwanda. There is a commission. If you write about Rwanda, it has to go through a commission, and the commission decides whether the work can be published or not. Now, in order to write about Rwanda and to raise awareness to outside of the country, it was important for people to write stories that would be read. And I think fiction generally is more accessible.